Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Like your voice, the very thing that makes you asterisk, was something to be ashamed of? Today, we're telling the story of a girl who turned mockery into her superpower. This is the story of Alina. Alina grew up in a small, tight-knit, rural community. Her days were filled with the sounds of nature and the comforting, melodic accent of her family and friends. Her accent was part of her identity, a warm blanket woven from the voices of everyone she loved. It was the sound of home. But then, everything changed. Her family moved to the sprawling, fast-paced city. For Alina, it was like landing on another planet. The buildings were taller, the streets were louder, and the people spoke differently. On her first day at her new, massive school, Alina was excited. She raised her hand in class, eager to answer a question. The moment she spoke, a ripple of snickers spread through the room. "Where are you, from asterisk?" A boy sneered from the back, mimicking her accent in a cruel, exaggerated way. Alina's face burned with shame. Her voice, once a source of comfort, now felt like a giant spotlight highlighting how different she was. The classroom, which she hoped would be a place of learning and friendship, suddenly felt like a stage where she was the unwilling main act in a comedy she didn't find funny. From that day on, Alina decided to be silent. She ate lunch alone, avoided group projects, and never, ever raised her hand in class. She tried to flatten her vowels, to clip her words, to sound like everyone else, but it felt like wearing shoes that were 2 sizes too small. She was losing pieces of herself with every word she forced out. Her grades, once stellar, began to slip. Her natural curiosity and brightness were being smothered under a heavy blanket of fear and self-doubt. One afternoon, her English teacher, Mr. Harrison, asked her to stay after class. Alina's heart pounded. She was sure she was in trouble, but Mr. Harrison didn't look angry. He looked kind. "Alina," he said gently, "I've been reading your essays. They're brilliant. You have such a unique perspective and a powerful way with words, but in class, you're silent. Why is that?" Tears welled up in Alina's eyes. For the first time, she told someone how she felt. She explained the laughter, the shame, the feeling of being an outsider, just because of how she spoke. Mr. Harrison listened patiently. When she finished, he didn't offer pity. He offered a challenge. "Your accent isn't a weakness, Alina," he said. "It's a part of your story. It tells people you've lived a different life, seen different things. That's not something to hide. It's something to be proud of." He then told her about the school's upcoming public speaking competition. The theme was My Journey. Alina's first instinct was to say no. The thought of standing on a stage, in front of the entire school, was terrifying. It was her worst nightmare come to life. But Mr. Harrison's words stuck with her. "Your accent is part of your story." Was she really going to let a few laughs erase her entire history? That night, Alina looked in the mirror. She practiced her opening line, not trying to change her accent, but embracing it. The words felt right. They felt like her asterisk. For the next 2 weeks, she worked tirelessly. She wrote and rewrote her speech, pouring her heart onto the page. She told the story of her home, the move to the city, and the pain of being ridiculed. But she didn't stop there. She wrote about the strength she found in her roots and the realization that conformity was a cage. The day of the competition arrived. The auditorium was packed. As Alina walked onto the stage, her hands trembled. She could see the same kids who had laughed at her sitting in the audience. She took a deep breath, looked out at the crowd, and began to speak. Her voice, clear and strong, filled the room. It was unapologetically her own, rich with the accent she had once tried so desperately to hide. She didn't just recite a speech. She told her story. She painted a picture of her childhood home with her words, making the audience feel the warmth of her community. She spoke of her loneliness and fear in the big city, and a hush fell over the crowd. She spoke about the power of embracing who you are. She wasn't just a girl with an accent. She was Alina, a storyteller, a fighter, a person with a journey worth hearing. When she finished, there was a moment of complete silence. Then, one person started clapping, then another, and another. Soon, the entire auditorium was on its feet, erupting in a standing ovation. The applause wasn't for a girl who had overcome her accent. It was for a girl who had embraced it, who had shown them the incredible power of courage and authenticity. From that day forward, nothing was the same. Alina hadn't changed her voice. She had changed the way people heard it. They no longer heard a funny accent. They heard strength, confidence, and a unique perspective. She had found her voice, not by changing it, but by owning it. Elena's story teaches us a powerful lesson. The things that make us different are not our weaknesses. They are our greatest strengths. Your background, your experiences, your voice, they all combine to create a story that only you can tell. Never let anyone make you feel ashamed of who you are. Embrace your journey, own your voice, and let it be heard. Because the world doesn't need more people who sound the same. It needs your unique, authentic, and courageous voice. Have you ever been in a situation like Elena's, where you felt you had to hide a part of yourself to fit in? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else. And if you want to hear more stories that empower and inspire, make sure to subscribe to Beyond the Classroom and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for watching.